Good start. Yeah, so this evening I've called it Thankfulness is Love. And just a bit of a quick recap, because some people coming might be doing the Metta Bhavana, or rather who hates the Metta Bhavana course. Some people might not be, some people are coming only to the Thursdays, other possibilities as well. These Thursdays stand alone, so you don't have to be doing that course. Don't worry in any way if you're not. So possibly most of you know the Metta Bhavana, I think, but nevertheless, again, don't worry about that point if for some reason you don't be leading it through. So the sort of theme of this series, the course, who hates the Metta Bhavana? Not that you have to hate it to come on the course. You might just want to sort of explore it more fully. And also these 5 Thursday evenings, of which this is the second, we're trying to sort of address the way that perhaps we don't get on very well in the meditation sometimes. Perhaps we don't experience the positive emotion of metta in the meditation, loving kindness, or in everyday life. And it could be that we're striving too much. So perhaps we're trying to push the metta out, trying to sort of force our hearts into something, rather than just sort of letting kindness or kindliness naturally unfold. And this is likely to be a painful experience for us, and also it's likely to block or stifle any sort of natural feelings of friendliness that we may have, or indeed any other feelings as well. So what we're doing in this series is really trying to start where we are in our hearts, minds and bodies, adopting a very receptive approach to the meditation. And I think Samudra Ghosha said in one session, it's like we're doing the Metta Bhavana, metta, the loving kindness, bhavana, development or cultivation, without the bhavana, without sort of this kind of striving act, trying to develop something or create something or cultivate something. We're just sort of sitting with ourselves in our bodies and our hearts and sort of letting things more naturally unfold. Now, I just want to check from what Samudra Ghosha was indicating. Does everybody know how to do the Metta Bhavana, we think, of the people here, or we're not sure? Yes. Okay. I'll just mention the 5 stages very briefly then. We're starting with ourselves and just allowing our hearts to open and be in contact with ourselves and our bodies, and we're being very non-judgmental about what we find there. And then we bring a friend to mind. A friend sort of enters our awareness, is included in some way. We sort of feel our response and we see how that unfolds. In the 3rd stage, it's a neutral person, an acquaintance, perhaps somebody who serves us coffee, well, takeaway coffee at the moment, or a sort of acquaintance at work or something like this. We don't have a particular liking or disliking for that person in this 3rd stage, and they sort of enter our awareness. And again, we just sort of sit with our hearts and our bodies and see what unfolds. In the 4th stage, we have the difficult person, difficult to us anyway, not necessarily to all people. And they're difficult maybe because of some habits or how they behave towards us or how they behave towards others. They get on our nerves, basically. We don't pick somebody we really hate because we just spend the rest of the meditation hating them. For somebody that's a bit difficult, and again, we just sit with that and see where our response is. And in the 5th stage, we bring everybody together, first of all, and then sort of move out to gently embrace more living beings. So although I've said we're being very receptive, and this is what we're really trying to sort of bring to bring into being in this way of doing the metta bhavana, it doesn't mean we can't spark ourselves off in some way to sort of help us in the meditation. And this is what we're doing tonight. We're going to tune into an attitude of appreciation, thankfulness, and gratitude, all of which are very positive emotions. And they may then sort of gently enter and aid our metta bhavana meditation. Now, I just want to say, first of all, that when I say we're going to tune into these very sort of positive emotions before we enter the metta bhavana, I don't want you to think that I'm suggesting that we are pretending in any way that life is all great. You know, there's a lot of suffering going on in the world. There might be a lot of suffering in our own life. But only today I heard of a work colleague who had suddenly died. So by highlighting these emotions of gratitude and thankfulness and so on, we're not turning our back on these other aspects of life that can be painful. We're simply, for the moment today, just sort of highlighting these. And actually later in the course, we'll look about how we perhaps tune in a bit more to these painful aspects and how we sort of embrace those in a receptive way. So first of all, I want to just read a little bit by David Whyte, the poet. I don't know if you know David Whyte. He manages to say so many wonderful things in so many amazing ways. So this is just a short little bit about gratitude. This is the area we're kind of tuning into. Gratitude is not a passive response to something we have been given. Gratitude arises from paying attention, from being awake in the presence of everything that lives within and without us. Gratitude is not necessarily something that is shown after the event. It is the deep, a priori state of attention that shows we understand and are equal to the gifted nature of life. Gratitude is the understanding that many millions of things come together and live together and mesh together and breathe together in order for us to take even one more breath of air. That the underlying gift of life, an incarnation as a living, participating human being, is a privilege. That we are miraculously part of something rather than nothing, even if that something is temporarily pain or despair. We inhabit a living world with real faces, real voices, laughter, the colour blue, the green of the fields, the freshness of a cold wind, or the tawny hue of a winter landscape. Thankfulness happens when our sense of presence meets and fully beholds all other presences. Being unappreciative, feeling distant, might mean that we are simply not paying attention. So, the essence of what he's saying to me is that these sort of feelings of thankfulness come from paying attention, from being aware of ourselves, our environment, and other beings. And when we are aware, we feel connected, we feel appreciative, and we do feel grateful. But just to stress again, this doesn't necessarily mean those are the only things that are going on in our life and our experience. So let's just try this out. You might want to close your eyes. It's up to you. It's sometimes sort of easier. We just close our eyes for a moment. So let's muse on some aspects of our day, or if not today, just the last few days. So first of all, did we see or hear anything in our environment that we experienced as pleasant or even delightful, and which we can sort of look back on now in this moment and appreciate? We perhaps appreciated at the time, but we could appreciate it now as well. For me, I was at work most of the day, so I was inside a hospital where I'm a social worker. However, on my walk to the unit where I work in, there's some lovely blossom trees that are just sort of beginning to show. And also there is a fabulous robin who I call Pavarotti because his song is so sort of beautiful. So let's just close our eyes for a moment, just muse. Is there some moment that we we can appreciate about today, something we saw or heard, or maybe a combination, as in my instance. Just sort of bringing to mind that joy and appreciation. So then, developing this a bit, we can bring to mind some aspects of our environment which we can feel thankful for. All these experiences of sort of thankfulness, gratitude, appreciation, they're closed, but they're just nuances really of a sort of very positive emotion. So for me, I feel thankful to the sky, which always seems alive with a range of colours and shapes. And when I'm more aware of the sky, when I am aware of the sky, I should say, I just feel more expansive and open hearted. And I realised in musing about this, I feel thankful that the sky is there. And I also feel thankful to the trees outside where I live, the way that they're just sort of there doing their tree thing. Um, they host lots of starlings, which I like to watch, and they're getting ready to burst into marvellous pink blossom. And they're sort of enduring rain and wind and sun. They convey something sort of quite stoical and steady to me. So I feel thankful that those trees are there. So again, let's take a moment to see if there's something in the environment that we can sort of appreciate, but also feel thankful for. Let's just take a moment before I go on, just to be aware of how our heart area feels and our bodies, sort of bringing to mind things we appreciate and feel thankful for. Mine just mine just sort of feels a bit warmer or something, and a little bit more expansive or something. Especially when I was thinking about the trees and musing on the trees. What about other people? So yeah, then for me, I appreciate the um, consultant whose office I borrowed today. Many of us who are not consultants in the hospital have the hot desk. And as today, as other days on Thursday, he leaves it tidy, really tidy, so that it's possible for someone else to use it. And I appreciate that. Well, I'm grateful for that. Somebody had cleaned our kitchen and emptied the recycling bin. And also, I felt really thankful to the nurses on one of the wards I work on. One of the senior nurses has had some really terrible verbal abuse from one of my patients, and had just sort of carried on doing her job with kindness and professionalism. I was very grateful for that she keeps on giving that care, even in the face of this very difficult abuse. So again, let's just muse on that area together. Appreciation of people, something today, or something in the something sort of fairly recent, just because it's a bit easier to bring to mind. Again, also maybe noticing how we sort of feel in our heart area or our bodies when we are appreciating people and grateful for something someone's done or been. So now the third and final area, ourselves. It's maybe not always easy to appreciate our own qualities. So an easier route, first of all, is to be thankful for our personal conditions. For instance, I used to work with a visually handicapped for some years. So I often feel grateful for the way that I have sight. I just notice from time to time that I am seeing as well as what I'm seeing. I also feel a lot of thankfulness for the way that I've had food today, and I've had a secure, well, not that I have a secure home to live in from where I'm doing this class, for instance. We can have a go at appreciating our own qualities. We just need to be careful that those doubting, critical voices don't come in. And one way of doing this is to imagine what a good friend would appreciate about us, or bring to mind what a good friend actually did appreciate about us at some point. For instance, I've been appreciated for being warm and friendly and also for having a good mind. So I can bring those qualities. I can remember those qualities that people noticed about me and see if I can sort of sit comfortably with appreciating them in myself. So again, let's just have a moment to have a go with this area. Okay. So now we're going to go into the meditation. So it may be that sort of tuning into these positive emotions may sort of help in some way in the meditation. You know, you can imagine in the first stage, it may be that something sort of arises in your receptive mind about your own qualities or something, about your friend or something. So we're not going to try and do it. There is actually a meditation where you sort of quite deliberately tune into what you can rejoice and delight in and appreciate. But I think we're just going to let it sort of percolate in and carry on with this very sort of receptive approach to metta bhavana. So you feel free to get into your meditation posture. So we're going to spend a couple of moments really sort of tuning into our bodies, allowing our bodies to be here, however they are, feeling very grounded. There's lots of different ways of doing this, so just to be aware that when you're doing it at home, obviously if you're doing a lead practice, it will be a certain way, but there's many ways to tune into the body. You can experiment yourself. So we'll do what I tend to do quite often is start with the feet, really sort of feeling the feet, feeling what the feet feel. Could be some warmth or coolness or sense of connection with the clothing and the floor. Often it's an area where there's quite a lot of sensation. So that's maybe when it's quite good, why it's quite good to start with this area. Brings us into the body quite easily usually. So feeling the feet and then moving our awareness up through our legs, our lower legs, our knees and our upper legs, taking in all of the legs. And just feeling whatever you feel. They might feel heavy, they might feel light, warm or cool. There might be some pain in the knees or relaxation. And then the buttock area, our seat. And usually there's quite a lot of sensation there. Some sense of weight and contact between our body and a cushion or chair, or sense of our clothing. And then coming up through the body sort of rising up, perhaps like a lovely tree, from the seat area, and the back first of all, sort of quite wide, spreading out. And there might be sensations there if you're leaning against a chair. Up to the shoulders. Feeling into the shoulders. They might be relaxed. They might be a bit tight, a bit painful. What happens is that as we sort of feel our awareness into them, they usually do tend to fall away from the body a bit more and relax. And then the front of the body, the belly, this really big area, even if we're small, it's quite a sort of big area, maybe surrounded by our hands, depending on how we're sitting. And then rising up through our chest and our heart area. Just feeling into it, just being with it. And the arms, feeling the arms are sort of falling away and being supported in some way, on a cushion or chair arm, or the body. And the hands, often quite a lot of sensation in the hands. Backs might be warm. Side the palms, a little cooler. And the neck rising up. And the back of the head. Sort of feeling into the back of the head. Top of the head. And then the face area. If we want to, we can sort of imaginatively just let our facial expression go. Don't have to be anything right now. We can just let any sort of habitual expression flow away. So then being aware of the body as a whole, letting the awareness flow over the whole body. Just here, however that is. And gently then now, we're going to tune in a little bit more to our heart area, sort of around the center of our chest, both on the outside and the inside. The heart energy area. I don't really have a word in English for this. Our hearts, our psychic hearts, where our emotions and feelings seem to reside. How are our hearts? How is our heart right now? Maybe a range of experiences coming up. We just acknowledge those. Some may relate to the exercises we were doing on appreciation, some may not. Going to enter the first stage of the Metta Bhavana. And we'll just sit with our hearts and our bodies open. Open acknowledgement of who we are is a kind of now. Maybe if we feel it's going that way, that some of these sort of appreciations and things get included in some way in how we are in our hearts and bodies right now. So we're just staying with our awareness in our hearts, in the heart area, in our body as a whole. Not trying in any way. We are just remembering that we have that capacity to appreciate. Be thankful it's there in us somewhere. I'm in touch with it a bit already today. Now we're moving into the second stage, the meditation. A good friend comes into view, comes in our awareness in some way. Where we remember being together in some situation. Just with us. And it may be that some of that response is interfused with an appreciation of our friend. Bring to mind our friend, there may be a sense of what we love and appreciate about them, the way in which we can be grateful to them, that may emerge. Now going to move on to the third stage. Neutral person. Somebody we We come into our awareness. Where the heart responds, which may not be very much there. It may be that actually this area of gratitude and appreciation might sort of come in a bit here. Someone that performs a service that we benefit from. Again, we're sort of trying to them, but the aspect there in our response to that person. Might be aware of them with us, or it might be we sort of are aware of them in the situation we normally see them in. Now moving to the fourth stage. Someone we find difficult, not too difficult though. So bringing them to mind, or feeling their presence, that might be a bit much. We are rather annoyed with them. Have a sense of them in some setting where we're not where we're sort of not there normally, perhaps a little distance. So aware of our heart's response, our bodies. Might be when this sort of flavour of appreciation is there. It might be though we don't like them. We are sort of aware that other people might appreciate their qualities. Maybe part of our response. And strangely, it's not so strangely, people we dislike can be sort of helpful at helping us understand ourselves, our patterns. And maybe even in the heart, a sort of response of gratitude to that person. We can go deeper with ourselves as we explore these dislikes that we have. And now the fifth stage. All four people are coming together. We're aware of all four people together in some way. Maybe we're all together in some setting, our heart. We just sit with our hearts with them, and hopefully there is some sense of connection with all four people, including ourselves. Awareness bring other we've heard.
Continuing with the meditation, having some technical problems, but continuing with the meditation. This is broadening our awareness, bringing more and more people in, handing back over to Padmajata.
Extending out a little bit to other people. Just including this wider range of living beings here with us in the session and in our local area, perhaps a little beyond. A sense of appreciation of that we are all here. Getting ready now to bring the meditation to a close. Coming back into our bodies and feeling our feet firmly on the floor. Well, I'm sorry, people, that I disappeared for a minute or two. That's because my internet connection just said it was unstable and I disappeared. We're still all there connected in the ether. I'd forgotten to mention, by the way, that Vidyasaki, Samudragosha, and Artasiddhi are here as the team. I don't think you can see them, but they're here. So we've got a few minutes. I don't know if people have got questions or comments. Apparently, you put them in the chat, and then Samudragosha will be able to read them out.
I can comment myself that my heart definitely responded to the appreciation little meditations we did earlier on, and did feel like that fed into doing the metta bhavana. Yeah,
Mm,
maybe even in the difficult person stage, definitely felt like that had an effect.
mm, yeah.
Vidyasaki comments, gratitude is like an open sesame for the heart.
Mm. Yeah, so those little reflections or sort of moments of meditation that we did, I mean, can't recommend them enough, really. Just to take a few moments each day, if you want to stop and just sort of, perhaps with a cup of tea or something, and just sort of bring to mind what you appreciated that day about your own conditions, the environment, other people. And so the sort of nuances of appreciation, gratitude, and thankfulness. There are just slight nuances. Thankfulness and gratitude is where we're a bit more aware of the benefits that we've received. Appreciation might be appreciation of the beauty or something of the sky or a tree or just the beauty of somebody's face. So yeah, and it really adds up. These practices, 5 minutes a day, can really sort of enhance one's general positivity. Definitely.
Nicholas says, I really enjoyed your gratitude approach this evening. Keep it in mind, try it more often. Claire says, I enjoyed that. I found myself feeling much more this evening, and I wasn't expecting to after a difficult day. Perhaps the warm-ups helped.
Mm, yeah, this sort of intermingling of meditation and life, how we approach life influences our meditation, also vice versa. So, yeah, yeah, it's very interesting what you say. If we sort of enhance our uh, positive feeling, as it were, at some point in the day, that may feed into the meditation, and then that feeds back to help us in life. Mm. Yeah, thank you, Claire. Good point. And the other people who made comments, yeah, thank you. Any other thoughts? Anybody?
Vidyasaki also says, it's so helpful to be reminded to reflect on gratitude by someone else. It somehow makes it more vivid, for me at least.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, mm. Now, just there might still be another comment, but apparently I need to be telling you people that this Saturday or Sunday, I've now got no Sunday because unfortunately I can't come. This Sunday there's a meditation morning, and it's going to be Artasiddhi as one of the people doing it. So I'm just going to pass over now to Artasiddhi, You can't see him, but he's going to tell you a bit about this meditation morning.
They can see us. Can see us. Hello, everybody. Very nice to be here with you. Thanks very much to Padmajata. I thought it was lovely, lovely class focused on gratitude. Yeah, and well done for getting here. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Meditation, actually sort of getting here and doing it. And actually, that's what all our activities are about. They're just, no doubt you've experienced the benefits of being here. And yeah, we arrange our activities just to basically support you to do that. As you've seen on meditation, I would give you a bit of input, but we've got other activities that we do. So Monday morning meditations we do on Zoom, so you can get a fuller sense of kind of meditating with people together. There's a short bit of sort of ritual at the start, and then we meditate together. And then, yeah, as Pabajata mentioned, we do other activities as well. So this Sunday morning from 8 till 1, we've got a kind of going deeper session. So meditation night is regular, so it helps you regularly meditate. That's really, really important. But another thing that's really important is to go deeper, actually, is to give yourself a chance to meditate a few times in the morning, as well as digesting a bit of sort of reflecting on your practice and digesting a bit of input. If you can do that, it really gives you a chance to see where meditation can lead. And actually, that's the title of the morning. So it's meditation morning. Where does meditation lead? Where can meditation lead? So if you're interested to find that out, if you're interested to see where it goes, come along. I can really, really recommend it. And then what you discover feeds back into your regular practice, and it will take your whole meditation practice up another level. So that's why we do those events. So myself and Vidyasaki, Samudra Ghosh will be there as well, sadly not Pabjata, and Dharmanata. So come along. It'd be great fun actually as well. So do come along. And then I don't know if Pabjata, you want me to say something about Dharna, or whether you're going to say that.
I think it'd be good if you do because I'm having a mental block about what it is. Oh, you mean down to the centre?
That's fine. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
so
people, yeah, chance to be generous, and Arta City is going to tell you how.
yeah, so yeah, as I say, we just we all of our activities are here to support you to learn to meditate. It's quite an undertaking learning to meditate, and it's one that's changed all our lives. So we do this for free. Everything that we do, we don't get paid for. Actually, some of us are on a sort of subsistence support. Um, but all of the activities that are run by all of the people at the centre are done unpaid, basically. And we're very, very happy to do that because we don't want money to be a get in the way. Actually, we want you to be able to benefit as much as possible. So that is the sort of spirit, really, of the Buddhist Centre. And it's really the spirit in which it's possible to teach people to meditate. We don't let sort of exchange get in the way. So what we're doing really is inviting you to engage in that sort of way. So we call it dana, which means generosity. So the Buddhist Center runs on what you might call a dana economy. All of our activities are for free; they're given freely, and if you want to get more and more involved in that, if you want to support other people to be able to get involved in that, then please give. Do give to support the Buddhist Center. So Samudra Ghosh has just put a link in the chat box. So that's the way you can give. Many people take out standing orders, but any amount you want to give will go towards making meditation freely available. And if you don't feel you can give, that's absolutely fine too. As I say, this is a dana economy. It's freely given, and we want you to benefit. But if you can help us, you'll help more people.
Hmm. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. and sharing together and meditating together and creating this sort of space of awareness together.